Job Game 1.
Advantages come through that jungle position. Samdi as well having a great split so far as we are into draft. KC on the red side going to get rid of the Nautilus and the Varus. Jarvan and Orianna taken away by NAVI.
Okay, so what will the final ban be here for KC with Rise still up and available? You have to imagine they'd be interested in first picking it, which is why the Vi ban will in fact happen.
Rise, Rumble wieder offen ist. Rumble Useless, Guys. Ich brauche nochmal. Sind wir wirklich glücklich, wenn wir Rumble geben und dann Orne von Main reinpacken, oder was?
We know that KC's bot lane love to play it, also happy to play into it. So the question ultimately will be.
Weiß ich nicht, ob ich das so geil finde. Ja. Ist deine Idee wirklich, sie geben jetzt, sie spielen jetzt Orne rein? Weiß ich nicht.
He's been solid. He's been serviceable. We haven't seen him as exploratory as he has been in the past. Things like the Bruiser meta is kind of where he loves to live.
Well, I think that he's been a tank merchant.
He has, but I'm saying he used to love
That's what
bruisers,
I mean, yeah. So back in the day, I feel like that was a champ. His style coming into the LEC was different from ultimately what we've been getting. Really, for Navi, I feel like the story of this team is very much their jungle. As bot lane will be locked in for Navi, KC now have to make an important choice. Do they forego bot lane, lock their top side, and then can ban away counters to their two solo lanes? Or do they instead choose to respond by...
Sie sollten definitiv Bot picken.
I think
ja.
Is where my mind would immediately go. You don't have the Xin Zhao to...
Ergibt Sinn.
Extra pressure in the jungle, goes in, Crescent Guard encore through him onto the enemy team, but we've seen how good this bot lane is on Ashe Seraphine. They've dominated games with it, and that is where KC will go. Na'Vi looking towards their jungle. Aatrox so often banned against LEC.
True. Jarvan could be a good angle here, though, if they want a little bit more.
It was banned out by Na'Vi themselves.
Good point, good point.
Yeah, yeah. But the Rise still available.
Rise is still available, yes.
Keine Antwort in First Free auf den Rumble. Das finde ich sehr, sehr, sehr gewagt halt. Also ehrlich, das finde ich extrem gewagt. Weiß ich nicht, ob ich da ein großer Freund von bin. Ich finde das also ein bisschen disrespectful. Finde ich extrem disrespectful. Weil jetzt hier kann ja einfach Ornn gebannt werden. Yep. Und dann Cassante oder Sion oder so eine Scheiße. Und dann ist halt wirklich, also, naja, mal schauen.
Which wouldn't then surprise me if Mainta even thinks about going towards the Cassante. We'll see if he is thinking about it, but like, champions like Aurora tend not to fit into Mainta's wheelhouse based on what we've seen from him. So, another tank is kind of what I'm expecting from the KC ban.
A good call on the Anivia and the Azir bans from Na'Vi. They want to make sure Povi has the easiest route to victory from that mid lane. Ornn and, as you say, likely Sion.
Ich habe eher Cassante gedacht. Hat genug Counters in seiner Pocket, er spielt keine Counters. Er ist ein Tank Merchant. Er ist ein Tank Merchant.
So, because I was thinking to myself, Xin Galio could be a good option, but with Xin gone, it then raises Pantheon. I think
it's Na'Vi that gets picked
first. Cassante.
Yeah.
So
I'm thinking about the combo that KC can do, because Na'Vi can go wherever they want right now. The most logical choice is to pick top. Because you already know what you're playing into.
Jungle pretending it's top.
I mean, yes, that's also true.
I will say, if they pick Aatrox, I doubt it's going to Mainta.
Yeah, same. I would agree with that.
I also think like Aatrox is quite hard to play into that. Like Ashe Seraphine, you're just gonna not get close enough all the time.
Überraschung.
Mainly because I feel like into Ashe Seraphine.
Unplayable Cassante Game, ja. Agreed.
It's a
Vadius hat einen Punkt.
For sure, to help you play.
Vadius hat einen Punkt.
But I feel like Cassante, like, now all your engage needs to come from jungle, and LEC is not, unless he plays Wukong.
I mean, but you can do the
Wukong ist nicht gut hier.
Because you've got Inspire, and you have...
Die Prios in EU sind so komisch, oder nicht?
Well, it's not going to be Vayne, is it?
I mean, I think it might be Panth Galio, to be honest.
I don't mind Galio mid for Yahoo.
Die Comps sind so komisch, oder nicht? Und auch Pantheon in 4-5. Rumble die ganze Zeit offen. Irgendwas stimmt hier nicht. Kann man Galio und Rumble spielen, das ist Trash. Ich finde, das ist ein Fake-Matchup. Kannst du spielen, aber es ist ein Fake-Matchup. IMO.
But they're basically relying on the Pantheon to be threats inside. Yahoo's going to be basically they're engaged. Flash ult, follow me team.
Annie, okay. Ja, sie müssen Jungle picken. Sie haben Wukong gesagt. Ich weiß nicht, ob ich Wukong so geil finde.
Yike has a lot of agency. He's got lanes that he can play around. Casey also have Prio. And
how do you feel about Nocturne in this job?
Hasse deinen Comp. 1-0.
Do not like it.
1-0. Free Nocturne. Do you really like Nocturne here? I don't know. I mean, it's good versus this, right? Probably can farm this. Probably can farm this. But I think if they play decent side laning with Pantheon, then they probably win 2v2s on both lanes.
Nocturne
I don't know. Achso, Sansa kann doch kein Deutsch, ja. True. Nog ist Tier 1 Champ, Pantheon ist overrated. Ich glaube...
Nocturne just doesn't complement that unless you've got a which does. If you went Camille Galio, if you were going...
weiß ich nicht. Weiß ich nicht. Ich kann den Value von Nocturne sehen, aber Pantheon overrated, weiß ich nicht. Ich glaube, gut gespielter Pantheon ist sehr OP. Abwerbung gerade kann ich hören. Geld.
To be honest, we're on track to see a similar performance with what we've been seeing from KC in their last 2 series, where they'll find an early lead and they will just pop off in the mid game.
That's what they're so good at doing. Like between the 14 and the 20-minute mark, they explode the game in their favor.
10 minutes.
Yeah, like, they are just dominant. They're just a dominant team. They're incredibly good. Navi snuck by Giant X last week. They were able to pick up that win.
Sofort jemanden Sub an Sansibar giften. Sofort einen Sub an Sansibar giften, reicht. Der arme E-Sport-Coach kein Geld, ja, deswegen sofort einer Sub giften. Ja, Rede, Nano, dankeschön. Gültig, auf euch ist immer Verlass. Gültig.
I remember when Genji went to an MSI and defeated, it was in the same vein, right? They won, I think it was 22 series in a row, even though they did lose games along that road. But hey, I mean, even if KC win the whole, like...
So, warte, hörst du mich wieder? Ja, na? Ja, okay, ich finde, also, ich sehe Nocturne Engels und ich sehe auch, wie Pantheon overrated ist, wenn der Spieler nicht gut genug ist, aber ich glaube, gut gespielter Pantheon ist sehr OP und unplayable. Aber ich mag nicht, okay, was wir heute Morgen gesehen haben in der LPL, gegen Pantheon, Blue Buff Start, Gegner Invade Raptors, weil der so langsam klärt. Ich finde, Nocturne Game, in dem du nicht Level 1 invadest, ist wirklich Wasted Potenzial. Jedes Mal. Jedes Nocturne Game ohne Level 1 Invade ist Wasted Potential. Ich finde, hier Invade war schon wieder so free. Wenn die Annie move, dann relievst du Midlane Pressure und der Pantheon klärt trotzdem noch langsamer. Es ist wirklich so wenig Downside zu Invade. IMO. Massive. Hast du Massive gesagt? Hey, Sansibar war nicht mein Coach. Sansibar hat mich ersetzt. Both them heading down towards the bottom side as well. Navi have managed to get the push down here. Lucio and Kalista being penned back a little bit. Ist er stärker als Panther 1 und 2. Ja, genau. Ich finde einfach nur Flex und danke für den gegiften. Ich finde nur, es ist wirklich Wasted Potential, nicht zu invaden, weil es einfach so. Also, jetzt macht das. Das ist gut. Invade hier super. Ja, Invade hier super. Auch rausforcen, dass er sich zeigt, damit du nicht smiten musst. Super. Ach, die Smite. Okay. Awkward haben wir jetzt, wenn er auf der Krabbe enden will. Na, wir sehen schon das Fighting-Symbol. Plus Botlane, plus Midlane Push, also die Krabbe ist weg. Er sollte camps, ja, schwierig, weil vielleicht wirst du double crapped, aber das ist okay im Kontext davon, dass du ja ein Camp up bist quasi. Also du bist gerade ein Camp up. Ich glaube, ich würde Red Buff priorisieren und die Crap hier geben ist whatever. Ich glaube, die Crap hier geben ist okay. Theoretisch. Aber er kann auch nicht clear und bekommt dann eben Smite Upgrade. Actually. Okay. Ich meine, Yahoo sollte TPen oder nicht? Und er sollte Fistfighten. Potion gegen No Potion aber. Nein, zeig Toplane lieber. Jungle ist wichtiger, scheiß auf Bot. Scheiß auf Bot. Ja, wenn wir jetzt schauen. Ja, und jetzt haben wir nämlich das Ding. Jetzt ist es richtig awkward für Riley. Rilich, wie auch immer. Super, super, super awkward. Ich glaube, Red Buff nehmen, Basen Top to Bot full clearen, potenziell sogar Red Buff nehmen, Base hier invaden. Er sollte jetzt invaden, er sollte jetzt invaden. Er sollte hier direkt hinlaufen. Nein, 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 nein. Direkt hier hinlaufen. Direkt hier hinlaufen. Du weißt genau, der Pantheon kann nicht Base sein. Direkt hier hinlaufen. Gegner Raptors müssen dir sein. Du hast Base Advantage. Nimm sofort die Gegner Raptors. Sonst gehe ich OOC Crash Out. Oh, I hate it. Ich weiß nicht, wie, wer Mitspracherecht hat, das hier haben. Master Plus mit Hardware ist ja eingestuft. 0 LP Master mit 0 LP Master immer mehr. Oh, ich hasse es. Ist mir viel zu passive.
Also, Poby's backed and doesn't have TP, so he's gonna lose 4 minions. Not the best there for Poby. Yeah, who, as you say, does have that lead. Sam D with a slight lead down towards the bottom lane as well.
Oh, Yike actually choosing not to base in between.
Ja, jetzt sollte er basen, of course, ja. Jetzt sollte er basen, jetzt hat er sein Smite Upgrade hier. I hate it. Oh, das stört mich sehr. Nee, das stört mich.
Well, he comes out at the 5:30 mark for his Grump, right? So if he gets the smite onto
Ja.
if he takes it down after, I think it's 5:20.
Das hat Riley Ironmond ziemlich gegrieft. Ich glaube, die Gegner, die zweiten Raptors hier waren seine. Meiner Meinung nach. Ich glaube, du nimmst hier die Crux, Red Buff based, gehst hier invaden. Invaded Raptors. Weil wenn der Pantheon nicht based, okay, und für Double Crab gehen, dann musst du das punishen, weil Pantheon ohne Items ist wirklich das most useless piece of shit ever. Guter Trade. Vielleicht hat er andere Info. Nö, der hat ja mit der komplett gleichen Info gespielt. Also, das ist einfach Gedankenfehler dann, weißt du? Mittel-Matchup ist sehr stompy für any Early Game. Jetzt läuft er halt wieder da, also ja, aber du kannst nicht, ne? Wow, wirklich, was? Hallo? Yike, du hättest dein E benutzen müssen. For the chase, Relench is low. He'll go into the other side of Yahoo, who's been abandoned by his mid laner. And Relench survives with a sliver of HP. Needs Mainter to bodyguard him up towards this. With a couple of the honey fruits. Okay.
Looks for the contest. Doesn't have flash, but decides against it for now. Instead, is going to go and get his Krug.
So Relench gets first blood, and he will secure the crab that gets him 6. All of his top camps are up. Same for Yike. They're going to have to quickly clear those. But wow.
Irgendwas ist da, irgendwas daran stinkt. Irgendwas hieran stinkt.
Mainter gets there first. The shield from Mainter is going to be big at the very end. Early spell shield from Relench doesn't end up getting popped. They get a ton of damage down to Yike because Yahoo doesn't have his ulti either. Then the round warp to chase Yike initially, but it cuts off Yahoo's escape.
So close,
and then that shield comes in from Mainter to provide him that extra bit of shielding to keep him alive.
Irgendwas hieran stinkt. Ich weiß, War die E-Usage scheiße? Weiß nicht. Annie und Rumble, aber selbst ohne Annie-Ulti sollte das, glaube ich, Winning sein. I don't know.
Larger lead as I would have expected. I'll be honest, with the first strike and with the fact he's running Ignite into this lane, Mainter's done a good job of only losing about 200 gold. He's not too far behind his farm as well. But we'll see if Casey can punish the fact that Samdi did burn his flash, and if Yahoo continues to punish the fact that Poby is short range, and Tibbers is pretty darn difficult to deal with when he's just dropped on your face.
Yeah, but as we just saw, the problem with using Tibbers like this is it means you don't have it available for any skirmishes. With both Dragon and Grubs up, there is now a small window where Navi has that advantage, where they can likely win out on a skirmish. I want to see Relench throw this ulti out soon. I like Nocturnes that are just throwing it. I think bot lane is a possibility, if nothing else, to just get those sums, gain priority. Mid does have flash available. Yahoo's built up a pretty healthy individual lead for himself. But you've got to remember that Yike ready to throw the Starfall down in the event that a Nocturne ultimate does come. Both these globals very important for both sides, neither yet to be used here in game one.
Tip is expiring in mid, and you can see LEC is
Jetzt Panther-Ulti wichtig. Wo landet sie? Hast du vielleicht bei Poby ab? Toplane ist nicht wirklich angreifbar. Samdi ist schwierig. Ich glaube, wenn, dann geht es mit Paros, aber da kriegst du eher den Flash. Mal schauen. Drop mir blind rein. Mit Panther-Ulti. Nope. Geben alles. Panther-Ulti droppt. Gute Sequence von LEC. LEC. Hä? Hallo? Der Swap war ziemlich geil. To be honest, der Swap-Timer war ziemlich geil. Und ich glaube, ich glaube, KC hat jetzt nicht auf dem Schirm gehabt, diesen Swap-Timer. Sieht zumindest so aus, oder? Sieht sehr danach aus, als ob sie nicht auf dem Schirm hatten, dass da geswappt wird.
The question is, will they go for the remaining grubs? We look back at this play, and it just starts with, okay, one grub secured, all in, throw the ulti. He does have the flash.
Ja, die Ulti holt ihn komplett aus dem Equalizer raus, das ist halt auch geil. Oh, er ist tot. Wow. Wow. Da kein Kill zu bekommen, ist halt bitter.
I mean, he's now going to make his way back towards top, so I think he should still be fine. But you're right, he is falling behind Mainta, which is definitely not something we usually see for Kana, especially when he is playing this Rumble.
And Mainta, he can just build magic resist. Like, he's not really any threat of a Rumble or an Annie right now. You get a Kanik Rukun and you can deal in any side lane you want to. Tip is used again by Yahoo in the mid lane as Busio is here to protect. You can see,
was top passiert? Gegankt. Jungle Diff. Jungle Diff. Gank into Swap Timer. Und dann Emergency Roam into Mitte. Into down in CS wieder. Also Jungle Diff.
Good retreat out of Busio and Yahoo.
Yeah, a difficult play when you don't have that much lockdown.
Oh. Dive die Sau. Dive the Pussy. Oh, Ulti ist ab. Weißt du das? Hit der LCK Janitor die Cooldown?
This is a good ult from Kana. Yeah, I like it. Because I feel like if he got close to that tower, he was just going to straight up dive in.
Getting doved.
He was fishing for it. He was looking. Kana's not going to give him the time of day. He will go back to base. Has he completed the Leandries? He's waiting. He's waiting.
He's not close.
Yeah, okay. So
I mean, you said it was a library. Kana's getting the books in.
that he is. The KC faithful still showing strong support here in the arena. The French fans, one of my favorite things about them is they are loud.
Yeah, they are.
You can definitely feel the support that is coming through, but Navi unperturbed as they continue to play their game. First dragon of the game, though, will go the way of KC as LEC finds himself on the top side of the rift.
Going to be exchanged for those last couple of grubs from LEC.
Ja, 12 Minuten Drag ist zu spät.
In terms of those neutral objectives, in fact, getting on the board in terms of anything. Yet to get a kill, yet to get a tower. As, you know, it's still quite early in the game, but they will.
Ja, ich glaube, er ist jetzt sehr am Chillen. Er ist sehr am Chillen.
You'll see the resets coming out. Busio once again pathing towards the top side on the reset. I wonder if he'll be followed by Kaliss. Something KC love to do is have this Ashe just hover behind, and then you look for the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, and you just go in for the all-in. Na'Vi read that. They bring their Ezreal and their Karma up towards this top side as well. The next real objective to fight over as well is Rift Herald in 2 minutes. As Mainta is stepping forward here. Paris coming in from the side. There's the Enchanted Crystal Arrow into the...
Das ist ein guter Ulti. Geiler Play. Sehr geiler Play.
Paris in Paris is killed off as KC find their first of the series.
A good response from Na'Vi, but an even better outplay from KC. As the arrow does connect onto Paris, the Pantheon ult was ready and waiting. 4 members descend the skies, and KC finally get their name on the board.
You know, sometimes you have that shower thought of like the thing I should have said in the argument that I didn't say.
Standard.
Immediately after I said that. Paris in Paris has perished is so much better.
True.
So much better.
Well,
And that moment deserved it from Casey.
You've missed it now.
I've missed it. It's done. I can't use it again. No. Cannot use it again until Worlds 20 billion. I don't know when Worlds is back in Europe, guys. Don't ask me. When Paris is there in the finals. Hopefully not Parising, because hopefully he's on a European team. Anyway, Casey getting a kill is big for them. Gold going over.
Ja, du brauchst mehr Gold. Du brauchst vor allem mehr Gold und du brauchst gute Fights um die Annie herum jetzt. Mellingans fertig. Die ist gespiked.
In 1 minute's time. These hawk shots have been on the mark, been tracking LEC really well. But NAVI has still been able to generate a 1.6k this early game.
I mean, Navi's still in a very good spot. The question is, can they maintain it? Because that's ultimately what separates the very top teams in the LEC from even the middle of the pack and bottom teams, is your ability to convert an early lead into a winning game state. And NAVI, while they have been pretty consistent at it, often it's driven by LEC. This team, I believe, has become quite dependent on him in that if he falls behind, they don't really have an engine to keep them going. The good news for NAVI is LEC is in a fantastic spot. His goal lead
Rice ist ein Bot-Burger right now. Was? Was heißt Bot? Was ist ein Bot-Burger? Erklär. Was ist ein Bot-Burger?
Another good news for NAVI is that Mainz in a side lane is just getting the push on Kana now.
Der ist ein Bot-Burger, stellt seine Items an. Ja, der Jack Rohr fertig passt, oder? Aber ja, die sollten auf jeden Fall auch mit herumskirmischen. 2 Items bei Yike, Level 11 und dann rein.
Does it? Do you want Phoenix Codex next? I can't remember what Leandri's built out of Vedi. Haunting guys plus some stuff. Can you remember?
The problem is you put me on the spot now.
Exactly. Neither of us can remember. He'll build a Leandri's, guys.
Yes,
I think it builds out of stuff. I know Haunting Guys doesn't build out of double Amptone, but you don't need 2 Haunting Guys to get a Leandri's.
Got every other AP item in my brain.
I'm sorry, I totally put you on the spot. And usually we have a PC, and I would have just looked it up to make sure I was right.
So instead you asked.
I did.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that.
Well, you're the mage player, man.
Yeah, that's the one item I never buy.
Okay. I want to say Phoenix Codex, second half.
So, Gold nur noch 1,5.
Feels right to me.
Das müsste fertiges Leandri sein. Ja, kann er. Gut. Sehr gut. Und der Bär ist so OP. Ja, okay. GG. GG. Er hat noch kein TP. Das heißt, er kann nicht mal Follow-up TPen. Oh, er hat den Weg gemisst. Rennt weg vor dem OP-Topliner, bitte, bitte, bitte. Oh mein Gott. Oh, okay, gute Awareness da noch für den Support zu gehen. Aber schaut doch Bot denn. Oh. Die Try to be useful Challenge, AD Carry Version. Schaut euch den Disgusting Topliner an. Oh. Lol. Lol.
5 to 5 in kills as a bloodbath takes place in the top lane.
Jetzt ist TP ab bei Rumble.
Collapse onto Poby.
Gut.
They one-shot him. He buys a little bit of time, ready for LEC to arrive. But he just arrives into his own demise.
Sie haben der AFK, weil er muss ja receiven nachschauen, aber Ash hat Full mit Pro. Ash hat Full mit Push.
Great target focus from Yike to try and lock down Paris. With the arrival of Busio, it's a 2v2. We have to go back to live because the action's going to kick off.
Oh, weia. Oh, weia. Full Panic. Was ist denn das? Was? Full Panic. Game is over. Game is over.
We've reached the point in the game where the Nocturne is doing Nocturne things. There's no follow-up.
Ja, Game is over. Wenn der Nocturne noch mitholt, weißt du, das ist schon desperate. Desperate times.
Casey have completely swung the momentum. The second dragon of the game will be theirs. And Casey now fully in the driver's seat.
1,000 gold lead for the men in red here. As the blue wall chants for them. Yeah, it's fated ashes, baby. It's fated ashes.
It's your fault.
Of course it is, because that's the burn one.
Sir.
You didn't say it though.
Yes, sir.
Kana here with the this is Leandri's complete haunting guys at Fated Ashes, by the way, Benny. He's going to chase down Poby, equalizer put down, kind of looking for the Electro Harpoons, doesn't land that one because he doesn't get the slow, can't go for more, but because of the push, Yehu will back him up. Mainta able to take the first tower of the game though, gets a little bit of gold back in his pocket, but he's the only one with a lead now for NAVI. And KC are just running around the rift. Busio on his own is forcing the LEC out of his jungle.
KC, I mean, I feel like the game's just going to get harder for NAVI. Like, they had a great start, but my perspective on the comp hasn't changed in that you've got a Nocturne that just doesn't fit with what the rest of the comp wants to do.
So true.
He threatens the back.
Intro-Lucky Games auf Nocturne, bitte. Ich?
He's a heavy committal champion that doesn't have champions alongside.
Oder von mir kriegst du nicht mal 2. Oder von Rylech.
Like, I think Rise
Was hältst du von Strikebreaker versus Black Cleaver auf Nocturne? Fühlt sich oft so an, als wenn du Hexblade into Strikebreaker gehst, kein Damage machst. Und halt Full Utility Bot bist. Sie macht in einer Woche, in einer sehr guten Woche, ja.
I think this is the way you now have to play. You play through sides, you look for picks, you capitalize on the fact that both Rise and Nocturne are really good at picking you off on a side lane. But they need to keep doing it. They need to find these picks ahead of these objectives, because if it keeps turning into these fights, these brawls, then it's going to be a difficult one for NAVI to pull out. But ultimately, the game's not over.
Yeah.
The goal is even.
Das Game ist schon ziemlich over. Das Game ist schon ziemlich over, to be honest.
Both teams have a lot of power.
Das ist einfach besser.
Ezreal scales pretty well. Rise obviously scales very well. On the other side, Ashe scales pretty well, and then you also have a lot of burst damage coming out of Yehu.
Well, it's the context in which they scale, right? Because, sure, Poby will win on a side lane the longer this game goes.
Sure.
Like, a Rumble and an Annie aren't going to be enough to really stop him. He's going to have a lot of HP. The Actualizer should just help him in terms of damage. But in terms of a straight up front to back, like if Annie flashes on Ezreal, like, who cares about your scaling?
He's got cleanse.
Sure.
Mikhail's not used by Paris before the arrow finds its mark, but he is just able to walk.
Sehr reserved, finde ich gut.
That was an example of not even a full commitment, right? Yep. So there's
Ich glaube, Lethal gegen Conqueror ist statistisch gesehen, glaube ich, 50-50 fast sogar. Das war Conqueror, glaube ich, auch mehr, aber es ist statistisch gesehen 50-50 fast. Ich glaube, die Leute überschätzen aber so ein bisschen, wie oft du wirklich, also wie oft du wirklich Liefertempos Spike spielst.
And he's ahead. Also true. Only by 40 gold now, but it's nothing substantial. Oh, Rifto charge in. Yike, leading the way. Looks to get to Sandy, does get the knock up on him well. Focus on
TP behind. Wow, die sind sehr motiviert. Equalizer ist gut. Die sind sehr motiviert.
They do get the TP out, so KC will be happy with that exchange. Busio. Oh, beat drop just wide, a clip in Paris. Grand Starfall coming in as well.
Q für Slow. Er ist tot. Oh, Navi collapse so ein bisschen. Schön.
Kalist does all the work, gets none of the kills. Busio and Yike going to be picking those up as a 2k gold lead is now generated by KC, securing that mid lane tower. KC very much in the driver's seat, finding picks across the map. I'm going to look back and Paris just in an awkward position here.
It's poor positioning from Paris.
Okay, aber was macht er denn da? To be honest, was macht er denn da? Gegen Fnatic aus 2-0. 2-0.
Kalist with fantastic damage. The movement speed that he gets from the Ghost as well, making it very difficult for Sandy to escape.
And now a 2k gold lead for KC. 800 lead for Yike, 600 for Kalist, who's at 2.5 items. Like Samdi, if he gets time to poke and prod at you, can do a lot of work, but it's going to be hard for him to have that time in fights. KC's shown their pincer movements, very solid. Triple, well, double control ward and a normal ward here.
Ja, Level 15. 2,5 Items bei Rumble. Spike Edge sind die schon sehr, sehr happy hier. Wow, das ist ein guter Collapse auf Yahoo, to be fair. Oh, war ja, aber es ist eine frühe Ulti von Mainta. Ja. GG. Kann halt noch sein, Sonners. GG.
KC with 5 alive. See the Nocturne in chase onto Yehu, who still has the stun. The fear will go off and get the kill, but LEC is now done.
Ja.
Roasted on a spit by KC, as Soul Point will be their prize.
It's an ace, and Manta becomes the target. They ulti onto Yehu, committed to trying to take this Annie down. But once Annie gets the burst down,
Ja.
it's done. It's now turned into a front-to-back fight with Kana.
Wo die Champions rausbeiten, weiß ich nicht. Ja, ich bin eine Antwort, wenn deine Antwort Cassante into Rumble ist, dann ist es keine Antwort so. Also, dann ist es, in meinem Kopf ist es einfach keine Antwort so. Straight up. Aber naja, was weiß ich schon.
And it's all fallen apart for NAVI.
Was halt weiß ich schon.
Perfect position to close this game out. The Hex Optics complete on Kalist. Kana, the Seekers will soon be Azonias. And you saw how quickly he just melted through the backline of NAVI. It comes down to compositional disadvantages, as you say, Betty. LEC going in and like Paris Samdi and just standing there like, guys, it would be nice. We have a little bit of backup.
Vielleicht hat 2-0 gewonnen. Und hallo.
Spotted on vision. True Shot Barrage comes out as well as Manta begins to poke and prod his head in. Poby has to move across. Does have the Realm Warp, also has TP. As Yehu catching the wave under the tier 2 on the bottom side.
An unnecessary risk for KC, so they just test the waters, see if Na'Vi react. They do, so they back away. But with Soul on the horizon, there's no need to overforce here. You're still continuing. I mean, you're in such a good position with an item advantage almost everywhere right now for KC. So you may as well just wait for the Soul, contest around that, force Na'Vi into a difficult situation. But I feel we're at that point where Na'Vi's comp is just so much harder to execute in contrast to what KC have. They haven't been able to find any more side lane picks.
It's a paranoid Realm Warp play, Betty.
Yeah, they need to find stuff like this.
Poby, Realm Warp behind, Paranoia in. There goes Poby, and there's the chase.
Guter Catch. Ja, du musst ein bisschen früher ready sein, aber to be honest, kannst du viel schneller ready sein. Oh mein Gott, Pantheon ist balanced. Pantheon ist balanced, guys. Lasst euch nicht anlügen, Pantheon ist sehr weak. Pantheon ist sehr weak. Naja.
KC collapse. Take 2 more. Sacrifice their mid laner for it. Poby TPs to the top lane and immediately recalls.
I mean, Na'Vi, they have to try and make these side lane plays, but Pantheon's ability to respond is very real. The Grand Starfall, nicely timed. I was impressed that he was able to, in a 2 versus 1, still find a kill off the back of that. Has the GA, and the rest of KC then collapse. Baron on the cards, no enemy jungle smite to threaten the steal. KC, 26 minutes in, already looking to be put in a position to close this game out.
The cheers come out for KC.
Ja, 7k Gold. Das ist gut.
Mid lane tier 1 was the target for Na'Vi. They couldn't get it in time. Poby here still only sitting at 2 items, didn't have access.
Das sieht useful aus, ja, ja.
So, I mean, the Annie just melts, doesn't even connect the stun onto Poby. And then Yike, though, does so much work in the backside. Able to just melt through LEC. Buys a lot of time as well with the E. And then the arrow connects as well, buying him even more time, and then the arrival of the remaining KC members to come back in, turn this into a winning team fight. They have the numbers, and they take out Manta.
As a pathing diff in the end of the day as well. KC could come straight through the river while Na'Vi had to walk through their own jungle to get there, so couldn't react in time. Also a bit of a wallet diff, let's be honest. Yike with a 1.5k gold lead now. That GA bought him so much space and time in the fight. Now with Baron, KC can begin to push in. 4 more waves left on it. Double cannon minions here already. The True Shot Barrage barely tickles those cannons. They'll continue to siege. You can just hear it grond.
2 Lane-Setups ist gut. Willst dem Nocturne nicht so viel Playtime geben, das heißt hier 3 Lanes wäre fatal, glaube ich. Ja. Gegen einen Nocturne-Kampf wollen wir nicht zu leichte Picks geben. Einfach chillen. Schauen, was passiert.
Is LEC just going to jump in? Is that your option to get on to KC, who are all grouped up, who are all clumped up? He'll dive in and pretty quickly send back in a body bag. Doesn't have the GA, still short of completing it, sitting on those components.
I mean, you're basically praying now that Poby can get some insane damage done with his combo. Maybe if he can Realm Warp onto Kalista, just one-shot him before the fight even starts. There's a world where they can turn this around, but...
You also don't have the vision to know where Kalista is. Like, who is here? Yike is still in this bush.
That's true.
They just don't know it. So Yike is just going to walk behind them as the Equalizer comes out.
Ich weiß, das ist sehr gut. Obwohl sehr, sehr früh ist. Okay. Sehr, sehr früh Sonne ist, aber passt. Ja, passt schon.
And NAVI, they didn't get an opportunity to fight back.
A nice engage from KC as the arrow comes through, an early equalizer. It means that they're able to melt through Mainta and turn this terrifying front line into nothing but paper. Burnt to ash.
No way! No way!
Unreal.
He actually
Unreal, though. Aber das darf schon mal, das ist schon mit... Ach, Mann. Warum?
And so Samdi
Cringe.
a little bit of time for NAVI.
The elation into deflation in the audience here. This is a great fight, great flank.
A very early equalizer. Doesn't seem like it's done a lot, but it does a huge amount of damage onto Samdi. He doesn't connect any Qs in the fight either. He's really not dishing out that much damage. The tip is even blocking one of the Qs.
Yeah. So I will say, I said great flank, and Yike kind of just altered into his team. Could have been a great flank. Great fight still for KC. So you can see the damage that Kalista gets to put down. It's somebody doing his hardest, but...
I mean, I wish teams would stop picking Nocturne, unless they're building a comp around it, because I've seen this too many times now.
Ich glaube, in Nocturne brauchst du einfach einen Toplaner, also einen Carry-Toplaner. Ich glaube, Tank Top plus Nocturne gefällt mir aber nicht.
It does this. Like, he did 0 damage in that fight because he knew that if he ulted it, he immediately dies. So...
Oh, Relech just pushing through mid. KC trying to push in through the bottom side. They won't take the tier 2. Relech takes a tier 1 in mid. KC beginning to collapse. They don't really have the tools to get here quickly. Relech going to walk out towards that blue side jungle. And that's all that happens there. And NAVI actually getting wave pushed in 2 separate places, while KC only pushed in the 1 and didn't even take the tier 2. That's overall a solid play from NAVI.
At this point, NAVI's just trying to stall. The longer the game goes on, another item they can get, their odds of winning the game do start to increase. Like, when gold means less, obviously, it then just comes down to execution. The problem is that the comp from NAVI doesn't really get any easier to execute. What we've been seeing is what we'll continue to see.
I think KC have found it easier to execute them over the last few fights.
The question ultimately becomes, what can Poby do? Like, those items are enough to one-shot an Ashe, but can he get in position to do so, especially when she has all of her summoner spells up?
Kalista has been playing really well this game as well. Obviously feeding off the energy here in Les Arena. And we will see if NAVI can find a way back into the game. Baron up in a minute's time. KC with a 7.500 gold lead there.
Nice, danke schön für den 6. Was happy mit Fenego nur so auf Shift aus? Ich war okay mit den Teamfights, war ich happy. Mit den Teamfights war ich relativ happy. Aber ansonsten, ja. Ich glaube, Toplane lief so wie erwartet. To be fair. Warum nicht LDR? Well. Ist nicht so viel HP gekauft. Oder meinst du Rildas? Nicht so viel HP gekauft. Ich glaube, Rildas könntest du machen. BT. Lange Fights eventuell, ich weiß nicht. Muss ich sagen.
16 to 18, a massive lead for that Rumble, who has finished the Zhonya's and has another needlessly large rod and an alternator in pocket.
Seems that KC is very much just playing towards the next dragon. Baron will spawn, but again, it's very risky to just start that one off.
Galio besser als Cassante, ist einfach ein Comfort-Pick, glaube ich. An erster Stelle ist es ein Comfort-Pick.
Okay, Yike, make sure you have 2 charges of your smite. Okay. He's sitting on it. He didn't even smite the blue there, Betty.
Sure.
They would have recharged in the next minute, 20 seconds, but he's sitting on it.
Yeah, who has to be careful about how deep he pushes in the bot side, so he's just going to take one wave and then regroup with his team.
Kalista goes in, and Charlie Crystal Arrow was cleansed away by Samdi because he was coming out from Boost CO. Equalizer down as well, does clip Paris, but a good Mantra Inspire will get them out. Grand Salvo
Wir gehen deep. Schaut auf Parus. Licht aus, ist gut. Wow, er ist tot. Wow, er ist tot. Actualizer ist balanced. Wow, 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 wow. Yahoo hat noch Flash. Actualizer ist sehr balanced. Schöner Stun. Was? Ach, er hat keinen Stun ready gehabt. Oh mein Gott, okay. Okay. Put fertig bei Pobi. Kein Flash, aber Put. Auch kein Seraps. Boah, der ist so OP. Er ist so OP.
NAVI find that pick, but then NAVI chase too far. Overextend, allow for KC to punish them back. And again, once this play
Ich glaube, wenn der Equalizer besser sitzt, sehen die Teamfights ja doch ganz anders aus. Also der Equalizer hier sieht nicht so supi aus, ne? Dann auch, to be honest, sehr, sehr gut von, sehr geil von Pobi.
But then NAVI go chase. They chase way too deep onto Yahoo. And they end up losing LEC, so they can't really threaten anything else on the map.
Yeah, with Yike collapsing around, it would have been hard for NAVI.
Wie machen wir's? Kein Flash auf Kalist, kein Flash auf Yahoo. Hier Flash down bei KC insgesamt. Oh. Oh. Auch nicht zum Hochleechen. 50-50. Best Case wahrscheinlich für Navi 50-50.
Has the paranoia, has a blast cone to get into the back of the pit. Sandy healing up off the red buff.
Er ist komplett aber die geben.
And because of that, NAVI will give up the ghost on Infernal Soul. KC claim it, and now you have to feel the Barons up next.
KC attack NAVI in the setup. They don't get any kills, but they didn't need to. With the HP advantage that they had, they were able to get the Dragon uncontested. And now they'll start off the Baron. NAVI, they have to find a fight here.
But they don't have vision. True Shot Brush comes out, they'll see it's at 14k. Could Realm Warp in, I guess, for Pobi. You've still got the paranoia from LEC. This is the fight that NAVI have elected.
Jetzt kommt Licht aus, oder? Boah, Main, das ist One-Shot. Boah, Main, das ist One-Shot. Oh, Chalice ist One-Shot. Ah, Pobi auch, okay. Pobi ist nicht One-Shot. Oh mein Gott, Actualizer-Schild. Schönes Sidestep von Yike. Schönes Sidestep von Yike. Wow. Ist es at this point Sidestep von Yike noch oder ist es einfach schlecht von Pobi? Wow. Das waren 3 oder 4 Rice Q am Stück, die gemisst haben. Und ich weiß nicht, wie viele du in den Midlaner gibst als Ausrede.
Track what Pobi was doing. I felt like this was a perfect opportunity for him to clean up the fight because Sam D goes monster mode here. Both Maint and Paris get melted, but Sam D works with his jungler to just dive onto the back line. I'm keeping my eyes on Pobi. It's just in the 1v1 against Yike. He misses his
jungler.
2. Yike with the Phantom 3. Yike with the side steps. Pobi unable to connect. Any one of those Qs connecting could have very much changed the fight.
That's GA. It would have taken him down, and then Pobi can step forward past the resurrecting corpse of Yike, but Yike here.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll let the viewers at home decide. Was that Pobi missing everything or Yike sidestepping?
In those moments when they're both started stepping back and forth, I always give the credit to the guy that dodged.
Sure, fair enough.
Like, Pobi can try and predict where he's stepping, but who knows?
I can understand why.
Spielt eine Lane? Kann hat noch kein Flash.
Yeah, okay. I'll be glass half full, you be glass fully empty, apparently, in this situation.
All I will say is that was a, as you rightly said, much closer fight than it should have been. They've been able to find ways on the Kalist. He still doesn't have his flash available. But, I mean, credit to NAVI for finding these fights. If they can get on top of Kalist, they're taking him out. But the problem is they just kind of run out of damage. If Sam D, though, throwing himself into the fire quite literally, the gold will matter less and less the longer this game goes on.
You can see almost full builds. Like, you've got a Verdant Embrace being built up for Pobi. That will go into a Banshees. There's a control, so he's one item short, but that's only matched by a Vamp Scepter on Kalist. So across the board, we are getting towards that full item position. It's still a 7.7k gold lead for KC, but for a team that has been so dominant over the last couple of series we've seen from them, It's the first time we've really seen KC challenge since that Vitality Series in Week 1.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Ja, 2 Lanes Pass, kann hat jetzt wieder Flash, das heißt, er kann auch mit gehen.
Due to the competition
Solid.
against, or is it just that's how dominant KC are?
Sehr solid.
And I mean, credit to NAVI, they've done a good job.
Oh God, that was just an arcane chip. In Charge Crystal coming out.
Problem ist nur, kann halt kein Buff. Wie machen sie es mit Nash? Juckt es die nicht? Ah, sie schicken Jake mit, okay. Gute Adaption. Wow. Ah, den Gash drauf auf Poby. Bro, Actualizer-Schild. Gut. Sehr gut. Mitte.
Inhibitor tower on the top side has already gone down. The true shot barrage doesn't really find its mark as Kalista begins to step forward. Poby almost gets in range for a room prison TP behind by Main.
Ja, der hat aber kein Flash ab. Und kein Actualizer bei Rice, die haben nicht genug Damage. Wow, macht der Damage. Alter, macht Kallis viel Damage. Alter, macht Kallis viel Damage. Was? Flash nach vorne von Kalist. Jesus. GG. Die Kalist macht irgendwie ein bisschen viel Damage. GG. Gutes Comeback. Sehr gut.
A hard-fought battle at the end there, but it is KC that walk away with the victory. An intense start to game 1 of this best of 3.
It really was, it really was. We're going to hand it over to the analyst desk.
Ja, kurz auf Toilette. Da war cooles Game 1, honestly. Cooles Game 1, cooles Fighten.
They are in their home. Ils sont à la maison ici. And in French, after a game like this, you would say, ils se sont pris une fessée déculottée. Do you want to know what that means?
I want to know. Tell us.
They got their booty spanked.
I mean,
They kind of did.
I mean, they got a bit punished for overstepping for sure.
Yeah.
In Casey's home, I think
That's the
Casey
thing.
just looked so strong. The fact that they just come in here and deliver, despite the early game, they looked so composed throughout that entire game.
It's around the map, it's on the micro game as well. I feel like Navi were throwing punches, but it was just never enough.
Yeah, I think it was absolutely incredible. The way that they were able to cover so many of the different bases that
Yeah.
were thrown at them. Like Navi were attempting whatever they could to get control over this game, but they shadowed well. They prevented the Nocturne from being able to do what it wanted to. And again, like, I think Yike just incredible in this game. And overall, incredible performance from Casey.
And we knew it was going to be about the junglers and what Relech, sorry, I was about to say Major. What Relech was going to be about to do here, because it mostly been a game around him, but when you step in Yike's territory, you remember what this guy's about.
I mean, I just hate this Nocturne pick that he locked himself. I feel like he was not set up for success in the draft, okay? Because something that Vedi has been saying a lot, and I really agree with, is that Nocturne is a dive champion. And despite him finding these early skirmishes, if you look at every single team fight where he went in, he was completely isolated. The only one that can dive with him in that comp is the Ryze. If Ryze sends an Uber taxi delivery into the backline, sure, you have some backup, but I feel like Relech, he was just a man on a solo mission in all the fights, and I kind of wish we saw more.
Yeah, I really wish we had. Like, it was absolutely insane. The fact that he was able to control so much of this early stage was absolutely fantastic. And it really did kind of at least give Navi some foothold into the early stages here. But it really did start to fall apart then as it went on, where they just couldn't find that same success then.
We have a special guest joining us, actually.
Welcome, sir.
Which is something that I forgot about, but it's great. Oh man, Prime, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Comment ça va? How are you doing?
I feel good.
Yeah?
We won game 1.
Yeah.
It was
What
very
was-
entertaining game.
What was your take on this game?
I mean, you can tell that all 10 players are very good just
Yeah.
because they're perma outplaying each other in macro and in team fights. So it's very entertaining.
I mean, talk to me, because now we have you on the desk here. Lucios Seraphine,
Yes.
how do you rate it, and what does he do that is so magical?
I mean, he always finds the perfect timing CC.
Oh,
always
Prime.
saving people and
Oha.
clutching. He's clutching on every champ, basically.
Cool.
So it's very impressive.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. I feel like the way Busio plays Seraphine, he just makes the champion looks like a Lee Sin to the insects people. Like the playmaking he performs on that champion, I've never seen it before.
I think it's also just the combo of the Ashe Seraphine. Like already KC are very good at getting early vision and making sure that they're able to play around that. The fact that then you have the Ashe that can also facilitate that as well. Like it just feels like they know what's happening the entire time against their opponents, and then
Sehr cool.
try and play against it. It's obnoxious to try and deal with.
I love the approach that both teams had here coming into this series. And Prime, something that I wanted to ask you, we knew the potential that this roster had. We've been talking about this all year, the fact that Busio is supposed to be the support that's going to bring Kalis to the next level. Yehu is supposed to be an upgrade. Kana is supposed to peak on his final form. Do you feel like we're reaching that potential that was promised with this roster?
And for sure we're reaching it. They've been very hard to beat, and even this game, for me, it looked very hard because Merc's value was through the roof.
Yeah.
Kled's value was insane also, and both losing matchup, and in the end, Khalid and Busio, they always managed to be fine in lane. Always, no matter the matchup, and even this one, they were ahead, and I feel like...
Wie viel Koreaner hat KC 3? Nö, 2. 2-2-2.
I don't even feel like this is the final form.
Hanna und Yahoo.
When I looked at Busio over in FlyQuest, the most impressive part to me was his roaming. Like how he was able to move around the map, how he was able to dictate the early stage, and then open up for Inspired to kind of just farm out, and it was Busio nearly acting as the secondary jungler. This isn't the meta for that, so I feel like even as we start to drift in towards, you know, more of those engaged supports, and suddenly that becomes much more of the way KC have to play, I feel like they can adapt as well. I feel like Busio has been the final piece of the puzzle for KC to elevate what was a great team to like top tier, like taking on these titles and taking them away from them.
I mean, I fully agree. The qualities that you see in every single top tier team is that when one person has an off game, or if even two people has an off game, the other three step up to carry that game. I think for me, this game, Kana was struggling top a little bit from the early fights. I think Yehu has some rough fights as well. But the fact that Yike and the bot lane just stepped up and put them on their back, allowed them to get back into the game and allowed them to find these clutch 5v5 team fights is just so impressive. And this is a quality you see in every really good team.
We prefaced the top lane matchup earlier. How did that one go?
I mean, look, we said that main team would be hungry coming in for this series because he has obviously been in KC for a long time, and I think he delivered. I think the fact that he played Dikasante into Kana's Rumble,
So, Delay. Geh mal in Lolix rein, oder?
pushing him really far, finding those early fights, I think that's commendable. And I feel like he was really trying to 1v9 this game as hard as he could, but on a champion like Kasante, it's not that easy, especially against the long-range comp that KC had.
I mean, for sure, we can all agree that
KC ist ziemlich gut.
Kana
Deswegen wir sie gelesen.
one of his best.
So, rein da.
And I feel like Mainter is one of the greatest in this Xante Rumble matchup. He's very consistent, always winning both sides. And I mean, he has a very big client against him, and he managed to do it. So I think Mainter is slowly reaching the top of Europe.
We see
Kapachungus.
peeking through the blue wall, trying to reach that.
Würde ich geisteskrank disagreeen, aber ja.
Made of. We've talked about the fact that he had a lot of
Da würde ich hardcore disagreeen, persönlich. Aber ja.
against his form.
Was für ein Game? Links einer.
With KC having Kana on the other side. As someone who knows Mentor, what do you think of his progress and success so far at NAVI and in the LEC?
I mean, Mainter is mainly known to be very consistent, stable, never losing lane, but never winning too hard. And I feel like he has been improving so much that he can win Xante Rumble matchup against Kana. So I think he's doing a really great job.
I mean, I'm just waiting to see him go to the next level because I know he's also quite good on the carries. We haven't really seen it in the sea. It's been a lot of Kasante, a lot of Science so far. A little bit of Ambessa sprinkled in there, but I want to see him kind of develop alongside Relech because right now it's all about
Impressive, dass das weiß.
forced to play this a little bit low.
Deep in the trenches drin.
Resource-heavy top laners, and I want to see if they can also evolve and play both styles as well.
Ja, Emperor, dann nehmen wir Young Cost Right. Dann nehmen wir Trick.
They're executing on it
Nehmen
right
Trick
now.
Right.
Now moving on to the next game, we saw that
Hybrid,
it's gonna
ja.
take a lot to take down KC. They look gigantic right now, and especially here at Evrin.
War nicht Expect der Toplaner?
What is it gonna take? What do we want to see here next?
Ja, der Toplaner.
Well, I do feel like KC got a lot of their comfort picks, right? Like Ashe, Seraphine is
Wer war der Toplaner?
for them. Pantheon and Yike controlling the map.
Ach, Kikis war der Toplaner, ne? Oder? War es Kikis?
So I feel like taking these away, at least
Expect, war der schon genannt? Oder war der schon genannt, ne?
rather
Scheiße.
see Relech going back towards something that's a little
Rascal.
bit more fighting in the jungle, like maybe even take away the Xin Zhao, have strong lanes that you can try and play through, because I feel like
What's
that's
on this Rascal?
lacking here. Sam D and Paris had already fallen behind in the bottom side.
Weiß ich gar nicht.
Couldn't
Chovy?
control against the Annie, and
Weiß ich
that
gar nicht.
already takes
Oh mein
all
Gott,
of the wind
wo
out
war
of
der?
the sails of the Navi lineup.
So what I hear is draft
Bei
Prime.
Genji.
Maybe let
Wow.
Reletch shine, which
What
is
the fuck?
surprise what Navi has been good
Fuck.
at so far. Do you agree, Prime?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think he should try to get his comfort pick. I feel like he's shining the most on Aatrox and Zayn. So I hope.
Bitte kenn keinen Academy-Spieler.
Let's see if we can make it happen. Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much for joining us.
We meet again.
Pleasure having you on the
Bitte kein Academy-Spieler.
And we'll be back in a couple minutes for game 2, KC versus Navi.
Hier, achso. Stixey. Zion Spartan.
Okay, no flash.
Yeah, I can help you. He will come, okay?
Yeah, Doctor wants to all flash, no flash. We can win.
Yeah, I'm not moving.
Nice.
He's alone. Cassante.
Okay. Okay, don't turn here.
Watch me.
Oh, nee, ach. Room.
Burnt to ash.
So, schau mal den. Johnson. Scheiße, das war bei 100 Thieves, ne? 100 Thieves Johnson. War es mit Björksen? Someday? Haben wir mit Someday gespielt? Oh mein Gott, wer zur Hölle ist das? Ich bin am Choken. Da, Shan. Da gibt es den Oldschool-Namen. Test mit. Er kennt das Test Giant. Okay. GG. Keine Ahnung. Kenn ich nicht.
I think you should have a break.
Okay, GG. Johnson war FlyQuest. FlyQuest auf Schwung, war das ein Ding? Auch sein.
Have a break.
Wie sag ich, danke von 22, ich weiß, dass der AD Carry war, aber. Sag mal.
Red Bull gives you wings.
In your best man speech, you said my wife is funnier than me.
That's factually correct.
Okay.
We're in range.
It's fine, man. It's fine. Relax. I've got this. I have years and years and
Meinen alten Coach gegen mich verwenden? Das ist ja pervers.
there we go. Look at that.
Meinen alten Coach gegen mich verwenden ist pervers.
What are you so worried about?
Oh, fuck.
Das ist crazy. Matukui, oh, okay. Shanks, okay. Gibt er mir jetzt, was gibt's er mir? Alle. Der Gau geht nicht.
Confident like you never deceive. Big ego, bigger brain, kiss really obscene. So we only wear designer cause we always look clean. And for that money, everybody you fiend. And the bling like a chandelier hung on my chest. And I get it for free cause I'm simply the best. See deposits every hour, not breaking a sweat. Out to lunch with my girls, grant at every request. Thank you. And bold, can't be bought.
Guck mal, ob er die alten Namen kennt.
I'm so confident.
Ja, das können wir. Wir können jetzt 369 nehmen. Wir nehmen aber nicht ihn, wir nehmen den da. Jetzt weiß er mal, gucken wir mal, ob er das weiß noch. Jetzt können wir noch weitergehen, theoretisch. Jetzt wäre mir gefährlich, ja, wenn er mich mitzieht nach Vietnam, habe ich ein Problem. Nach Casey wird es Navi noch jemand? Nee. Behave. Das ist sehr high. Krank. Lonely. Was mit Behave? Ja, was. Jetzt ist morgen wie immer, ja. Prime ist der Türken-Toplaner. Wie hat der gespielt? Mit Closer gespielt? Nee. Mit welchem Türken? Boah, Mann, das ist der Türken-Toplaner. Wie hieß der denn? Das war der Türken-Toplaner, der dann gebannt wurde. Scheiße, ey. Ja, ein bisschen weggespielt. WP hat der Rank 1, glaube 1,7 oder sowas.
Time for a show. Show 'em how you outplay. Go and check the replay. Dubs like all day, boy, you better know. Know that it might be just a little high.
Skill-Mode wäre wahrscheinlich besser für mich.
These watches go. 'Cause they can fire straight fire. Every team fight coming down to the wire. The whole world trying just to look like us. Take a look at your league. Wish you played like us. Natana shook reality.
Keine Ahnung. Oh, LVP Road to the Gamer G.
Like KCB was good.
Langweilig.
Playing right now against KC. Feels
Langweilig.
Like I'm playing against my old team, even so I was never in KC. But feels good. I'm pretty sure it will be hype match for me. And I felt like when I was playing in Paris before, I felt like it's my home.
Digga, von allen, ich gib's mit denen.
6 months or 7, but still feels like it's.
Der Prime MNS gespielt, ja, das ist
To be honest, my biggest transformation.
War MNS in der Türkei? Der war doch bei X Academy.
I learned a lot.
War der bei X Academy mit denen?
Like a person.
Da ist es jetzt.
Just new teammates, new coaches. I mean, one coach.
Mayushi.
And the moment I was on the same page with them, I just working the same way like I did in KCB. Same routine, so yeah, I didn't change much. Just little adaptation at the start, and then it's fine.
Wir nehmen von HLE.
Yeah, of course, The Rock and Mainzer having some time in KCB. I know
Bei 1 bitte, glaube ich. Und jetzt nehmen wir Moju, glaube ich. Oder XX.
Over at NAVI, so we'll see if NAVI can give KC their
Just
first
not
loss.
great
Well, what's not
about The Rock though. Pick and Nocturne in that draft.
Okay, sure. I thought
Zoom ist sogar ein guter Call eigentlich.
No.
Okay. Ich glaube, XX kennen Leute inzwischen. Moju kennen noch nicht viele von dem Team.
That NAVI demonstrated
Okay.
that they can build early leads. They've got a great
Cream.
head on their shoulders. I think they've
Gib
got a
mir
good group of players.
369, bitte.
But
Na, Ju.
they just needed better tools to really come to
Wir
the
369 nehmen.
playground and fight is what my brain said, but you don't
Ich
usually
möchte
go to
369
playgrounds to
nehmen.
fight.
Yeah,
So-
and with tools as well. We're prepared, okay? My kid is going with a sledgehammer, and I will not be told otherwise.
Right. Well, let's think more about draft for game 2.
Sure.
Können wieder Moju nehmen. Wir können wieder Moju nehmen.
Aatrox
Wir können auch.
That is our anticipation.
Oh, der da. Der war ekelhaft vorher.
The thing I love to reference
LZQ, ich weiß gar nicht, wo er mit dem gespielt hat.
splits in versus when we were in playoffs, the way Koi shut them down was by targeting Relech specifically.
Sure.
Taking away his Zehen,
Yeah.
banning away Ambessa, banning away Aatrox, and actually really limiting what options he had in the jungle.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll see whether KC chooses to take that approach. But I will say that in the current meta, when it feels like range supports have to be banned away, when it feels like Ryze already,
Noch einmal.
Ryze already gone.
Noch einmal LCS.
Still.
But yeah, Oriana's still open. Bar,
Vielleicht gut.
Caitlyn,
Vi,
Lulu,
okay,
Yunara,
noch eins.
Varus, Vi. Like, there's still a lot of champions that are still open.
True.
So I feel like Relech will be able to get himself a carry. The question is,
Which one?
what do they then build around it, and
Yeah.
which one does he prioritize?
And how,
Boah,
as
jetzt.
you say,
Fuck, jetzt hab ich mich wieder selber gefickt, weil wegen Academy und so ein Scheiß.
Karma, you looking forward something like
Oh wow, weiß er nicht, dass es EG war?
But Lulu obviously works well in those.
Oh wow, er weiß nicht, dass es EG war.
A carry jungler can do a lot of
Okay.
work as we're getting into draft for game 4 of the day. Game 2 of the series between KC and NAVI. KC trying to continue their undefeated streak. Have yet to lose a series here in LEC Spring. Have only played 3 of them, so not as mammoth a task as, you know, Vitality. It's 6-1 already qualified for playoffs, but
Was auch depending aussehen, ja.
at the mercy of the scheduling. With them playing 3 series this week, having a week off, and then 3 series in
Ich kann es nicht raustappen, dann müsst ihr kurz mitleben.
that roadshow. Let's get into the draft.
Mit wem hat er bei Maus gespielt? Mit Practice.
Nautilus and Jarvan removed by Navi.
Okay, so that Vi is still open.
Sehr gut.
The Bard, I think
Er sieht halt nur Ömer an und er denkt, das ist ein Türke. Ja, ja.
blue bans,
Sehr
but
gut.
At this point, like I think Kalist's Yunara is something you have to be very afraid of.
Voll in die Mausfalle reingelaufen.
I will
Er gibt mir LEC,
Lucio
okay.
made so many great plays last game, even if he couldn't always save his teammates. Some of the things that you kept highlighting,
Die ganzen Namen kannst, aber die meisten, also alles was nicht Ding Cheese ist,
like, it was just ridiculous.
alles was nicht Cheese ist, das zum Beispiel kenne ich halt.
And Navi agree that he's a massive playmaker. They're going to get rid of the Bard. It's something we saw banned against Busio all the time when he was on FlyQuest. It very rarely got
Mit wem hat er gespielt?
Still something we see banned out these days. We'll see where KC go with their final ban of this first rotation.
Mit wem hat der gespielt? Oh mein Gott. Doch, LCS, nein, LCS ist immer samstags und sonntags. Fuck, jetzt nimmt er irgendeinen alten Namen. Wo ist BDD jetzt, Pepinero? Bruder, wer ist das? Oh, wer ist das, Bruder? Wer? Huctus HQ. Keine Ahnung, Bruder, kein Schimmer. Hat wer was zum Cheesen? Weg. So, ja. Woher? Bruder, es ist so peinlich, no joke. Was ist das? Big Fat, okay. Okay. Eine Runde noch. Nico de Pico ist so peinlich. Enigma Caps, der größte Terrorist auf EO West. Jetzt geht er wahrscheinlich hier rüber zu den Max. Okay.
Yes, that is exactly where Yike was going with that one.
Yeah, going Guardians.
Strong deck right now. After the bans.
Stick say.
As we kind of expected. So it does mean that it's probably Yunara Lulu versus Corki Nami. It's probably our bot lane shenanigans.
I was at RQ Atlanta this week.
Oh mein Gott. Oh mein Gott, was gechoked. Alter. Oh mein Gott. War der bei Dignitas, ne?
But yeah, all sorts of exciting Riot IP stuff happening this weekend. Now,
apart from this and that, and RQ Atlanta,
that's a lot of exciting
all
things.
sorts of LCS.
LCS
I assume is on this weekend.
Yeah, as well. So there you go. My statement remains correct.
Valorant. Pretty sure Valorant happens as well sometimes.
Does it? Yeah, during the week.
It's Friday. So it's probably happening today because today is Friday. Usually it's Saturday today because it's our first day of shows.
You
today is Friday.
Okay, was hält die Academy letztes Jahr? Er weiß es nicht, er weiß nicht, dass es mit Lennart ist. Das ist sehr gut. Das ist sehr, sehr gut.
We used to see quite a lot, actually, as an answer to the Azir.
Would you say used to see? I feel like the one
Gib mir Neid.
that resonates with me is its Knight's answer.
Gib mir Neid.
Right, and obviously it hasn't exclusively become Knight's answer, especially over last year and this year. But I think it's just a champion that outranges Azir, can contest his wave in early levels, has similar build paths, and provides good.
Will nicht Richtung Vietnam gehen.
Teamfighting.
Maple, ja, aber Maple, Vietnam, schwierig. Wenn er mich nach Vietnam zieht, dann ist es schwierig.
I don't remember which one it was. I do know that it was either played in the LCK or the LPL very recently, though.
Sind der SOFM, oder?
What this does mean is that with junglers now available, the pool gets pinched even further.
Wem hat SOFM noch gespielt?
We are in fact seeing a targeted approach towards Relege. We've got the
Mit wem hat der noch gespielt? Hat er mit Uzi gespielt? Ja, da. Oh mein Gott.
Aatrox all taken away from
Okay.
the side of KC.
Oh mein Gott. Bei Angel war Max Power krank.
Confident that
Lovelin ist crazy. Da direkt FF.
we've seen him play
Direkt FF.
play Maokai, we've seen him play
Er könnte Mako nehmen auf jeden Fall.
play Kiana. He can play both the
Gott sei Dank, okay.
tanks. So I don't
Okay.
think KC's really too worried about
Das ist der andere Uzi.
that pool.
So on the final ban coming out of KC alongside the Zahen with the Nar ban. It does hint towards Navi
Chillige Sache, Bro.
doesn't have an easy one to
Chillige Sache.
Navi thinking about their final ban.
Passt.
So wondering where else Relech could go.
Passt.
Theory is always an option. You want to be very aggressive.
Passt.
Kiana as well. And Kiana with a Ziggs there for follow-up damage. That feels pretty nice.
I think like Ziggs Kiana is definitely a mid-jungle. Yeah, it's a mid-jungle.
It's a mid-jungle. It's a mid-jungle.
Well, now you have to imagine that. Yeah, jungle Zin with Zin still open. That is like the most Yike pick ever. Yike with Azir. Sorry, Yike with Zin and Yehu with Azir is like very much KC. Normally in a draft like this is actually where you would usually get the Kana Scion.
Yeah.
But given that they've banned it away with Nargon as well, I'm very curious as to what direction Kana decides to go in.
Is it Olaf with a Lulu pocket?
Oh, into jungle, yeah, could be.
Nicht mehr.
A jungle Olaf.
Ich kann nicht mehr.
Said Jace is gonna
Was für Van.
It's a good blind.
Das muss ich jetzt nachschauen.
Pretty much.
Hobie.
Top lane is banned.
Tournament Results.
Top lane. Jungle pick.
Oh,
We did see Jace jungle for a while.
Yeah, it
It's
did
been
get
a while.
nerfed, but then it didn't really get any changes after that.
Yep.
Pros just stopped playing it.
Oh, Ornn was played in Series 1. Because I was like, Ornn's off the cards. But it's not. It was played
Ach, das ist Metall.
Ornn is a good tank.
Also ich hätte Smash nehmen können. What the fuck?
What are they thinking
Would
about?
lose to something like a Gwen, I guess. If you want to play top lane.
It's up
And
as a jungle.
it's double flex.
It is double flex.
Minus ist auch ein guter Call. Kein Schwanz kennt Minus, Bruder.
Main to off tanks.
Kein Schwanz kennt
I was
das.
gonna say, can't you pick Vayne into both of those?
You can always pick Vayne.
Vayne ist ziemlich gut, ja.
The game is debatable, but Karna's Vayne was very good the last time we saw it. We even had Finn breaking it down between
I
the
was about to
series.
say, isn't Varus also open still?
He is open. Do you want Varus or do you want Vayne,
I
Betty?
think Vayne Varus is better. Yeah, I think Varus is much better. I think it's very versatile into both.
Varus top.
You could even.
Well, schreit nach 2-0 oder nicht?
You do.
Yeah, we are seeing more of these range top.
Bros, wenn du einen Freak hast, geht er nach Japan. Krank. Well, das hier ist gefährlich. Allgemein, die beiden hier können sehr gefährlich werden. Mal schauen, wie Casey das spielt.
Yeah, I mean, we know Finn
Ah, Top-Lane-Matchup ist unplayable. Top-Lane-Matchup ist komplett unplayable, guys.
Because I feel like Jace would have a slightly easier time.
Game 3 ist komplett unplayable. Nicht Game 3, Entschuldigung. Top-Lane ist noch komplett unplayable.
It's very possible.
That's my take. But Navi, I don't, again, really know how I feel about that comp. I feel like KC, a lot of range, a lot of poke, good disengage. Basically want to keep your arms length. Yeah, they're
Dominant 6 Supremacy. Well, der Champion ist sehr stark.
They just kind of want to poke back
Chain
and
of
forth.
corruption, right, exists, and like a flash chain of corruption is okay.
I do think Navi, like their dive, they have combos, right? You have Ambessa ultimate comboed with Ziggs. You've got Lulu to supplement the dive. You've got Jace that can provide both poke with the Ziggs. So they have ways to match some of the poke. I guess the biggest thing is like...
Who gets ahead?
Yeah, but also just like when Mengta goes in, he's kind of like the only one almost in the game going in.
Apart.
It's another comp where it's like one guy goes in and the rest of them like, okay, see you, man.
Yeah, kind of. But again, there is a Lulu there to support.
That is true.
So I'm interested to see how this. I feel like this isn't as cut and dry to me as I felt like in the last game.
I think you just really hate Nocturne. And as soon as you see a Nocturne, unless it's followed by a Kai'Sa, a Vi top, and a Zir, and something else, a Nautilus, you're like, okay, this is awful, this is done.
Yeah, I won't rant anymore about that champ, because he's not going to be in this game.
Yeah, but tomorrow, when we're on the analyst desk together, we'll do a whole segment.
Get that little, you know, the reels, or you get the little finger, and it's like tap, 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 Nocturne. No.
We should buy one of those, actually.
Anyway.
Sadly, he took a phosphorus bomb, so he got chunked out a little bit. It's going to take a second one, but the help picks from Paris is enough shielding. Alongside that summon area for the second little bit of shield. Kalista opening with those
Haben wir schon durch, ja.
doing the same. He was himself up while getting the damage on.
Also oftmals sehen wir Yunara Lulu die Lane gewinnen.
KC bot.
Right, obwohl es eigentlich ja logischerweise eigentlich Kokinami geil sein sollte. Mal sehen.
I wonder if Ziggs actually gets that early prio against these.
Mit dem Matchup ist komplett fein. Also ihr kann Early Game Push contesten, aber der Ziggs Outrange natürlich. Plus kann immer gegen die Shuffle-Combo W drücken und dich von deinem und dich aus dem Drift rausholen.
If he went for the explosive minefield at 2, just to like put under Yahoo's feet and then have him walk over it a little bit, because as you can see, he's trying to dodge to the side of the.
It looks like basically that the wave throw is pretty neutral.
Yeah.
I imagine that once Ziggs gets points in his queue and he has a little bit more AP, then the wave clear should start going much more in his favor, just because Azir does require the soldiers and the auto attacks to actually clear these things.
You still
out.
clear well, you just don't do it immediately. Whereas Ziggs is like, okay, chuck some stuff out, everything's
Okay, sieht nicht so nach aus, als ob der Azir Push bekommt. Okay, traded aggressiv. Alright.
Gets the damage back onto Poby.
Ooh, he actually took a second point in his queue rather than leveling up the E. Remember the passive from Ziggs autos?
Nein, ich spiele gerne 6 hier. Das steht auch 13-0, glaube ich, auf 6 gegen Azir.
But he's able to push in the wave there. He's going to go for an early base. Does have the TP available as all of his pots have been expended. Meanwhile, we can take a quick look top, but every top laner will probably cry after they do that.
Every one of them that doesn't play the Varus tops.
Pretty much, yeah.
The Varus tops like, yes, this is why I do this. Feel the cortisol rising in my opponent.
There is no range top laner watching, because they are instead playing solo queue right now, and they're doing this to other top laners.
Yeah, but if you're playing a range top, you can kind of do both. It's a bit like the Yuumi situation. It's so easy to play it, you just auto-attack the enemy.
I played a solo queue game the other day, and I found out that Teemo into Ambessa is an incredibly one-sided match.
Okay.
And you don't think about it initially, but Ambessa's whole thing is ability auto, ability auto. So the blind ends up
Jungle Matchup. Well, wenn der Sensao einmal auf dich draufkommt, hast du ein riesiges Problem. Du musst dein E ziemlich gut benutzen. Aber wenn der Sensao auf dir drauf ist, hast du ein Problem. Ganz einfach.
Surprisingly, pretty easy to get, or unsurprisingly. Yike looking after his first full clear to see if he can catch out Poby, but he's...
Gut, Jerry. Ansonsten, Jace will seine Items bekommen und dann poken. Find aber, ich weiß nicht mehr, ob ich Pull Poke. Pull Poke ist, glaube ich, gar nicht mehr so stark, einfach nur, weil sie den Range so viel genervt haben. Und dafür Melee Q gebufft haben. Mal sehen.
Looks like he did manage to get his first camp that little bit quicker, so it'll be respawning ever so slightly earlier for him. Poby here, trading with Yahoo again. You know, it's much to do about nothing really across the map. Small goal leads here or there. Kana the one that you do have to keep your eyes on when it comes to who is breaking the bank. It is he. He's basically double Mainter's CS. And also for Mainter you have to think like when he was on KCB, often you look at EOLs, oh, how am I going to get promoted? How am I going to get to the main squad? Mainter never really had that option, right? He was like, how do I replace Kana? Well, I joined a different team. And obviously, good at KCB.
Ja, das Matchup ist sehr schwierig. Sehr, sehr schwierig. Wie viel Englisch wird mit dir gesprochen? Gar nicht. Nix. Nada. Niente.
And then he got melted.
Yeah. He got very hard to play as the game continued. But I feel like while I'm still not entirely sold on the draft of Navi, I think that's just because...
Ja, morgen außerdem, wie gesagt, ab 9 Uhr LPL. Wird super. Wird toll.
Something we have not seen so far here in the LEC. And I'm fascinated by how these poke comps will interact, because it is very much Jace plus Sigs versus the poke that will come through from the side of KC, which is the Varus, Azir, and the Corki.
27 games in a row on the red.
Das ist crazy, by the way.
As far as my quick maths were there.
Das ist krank.
It's quite a lot, assuming this is up to date with the last game as well.
Red.
They like red side.
Union wird auseinandergeschraubt. Nein. Nein.
There were times last split where they deliberately picked red. Oh.
I mean, they picked red in this game after having selection. Poby flashes away from the Ember Survive with Bucio here as well. Flash, Agripism, and with Yike there for the...
Warte, habe ich getippt?
Yeah, Poby is...
Habe ich, glaube ich, sogar. Warte.
Yeah, who's going to be given the kill first? Blood to the KC mid.
3-0 habe ich getippt. Okay, ich habe 3-0 getippt.
Nice collapse from Bucio as well.
Da steht 2-0, ne? Ja.
Yahoo having to do it instead. They get the flash out from Poby as well. And KC draw first blood.
Yeah, nice move all round from Bucio. Had the early reset. Relech will get the Drake while all of that was happening. Gets himself the level 6 as well, which is solid for him. Obviously doesn't matter as much on someone like the Jace. So would on some of our other junglers like the Pantheon or the Nocturne in game 1. Paris here holding the wave very kindly.
So, wie viel kassiert denn der HSV morgen? Junge, Topspiel ist HSV gegen Hoffenheim. Das ist ja schon wieder respektlos.
Backs away. Sam D here having to use the barriers. Kalis just goes in and with the Tidecaller's blessing, chips away at Sam D's health bar.
Now Paris back in lane, but
3-4. Dein Wort in Gottes Wort wurde genommen. 3-4 für Hoffenheim. Das Spiel ist schon aus dem Draft. Ist es das? Ich meine, Jace plus 6 kann gefährlich werden, aber ist Navi gut genug, um die Comp zu executen? Das ist die Frage. Engage ist sehr limitiert bei KC, muss man auch dazu sagen. Mal schauen. Ach, wir kassieren 3 dafür. Wir schießen kein Tor.
Kind of the player in our league that heavily prioritizes the Azir. Yeah. One of his comforts, something that he does really value, even though many
okay.
moved off of it.
Okay. Dann machen wir 0-3. 0-3. 4 glaube ich nicht. Wir lief Game 1. Ziemlich geil, ziemlich umkämpft, 40 Minuten. Aber hat sich relativ klar gezeichnet, dass KC gewinnen wird.
And Azir he's just outside the meta. He always skirts those fringes. Similarly to Oriana.
Das ist geil.
The time actually. It's always the 3 that you know, at some point this champ will be good. They're close close enough.
No matter the meta, no matter the year, Corki and Azir will arrive all the same. That's ulti throw now.
Oh, er hat Mercs fertig, ne? Ja, das ist ein guter E von Kana gewesen. Oh, der E hat nicht getroffen sogar.
Kana going for the phage here as his first item, just immediately chunking out Mainta's health bar.
Now, I did have an opportunity to chat with Finn about playing into Varus top, and you might be confused as to why is there a Merc trace?
Yeah.
Right? Like, he is an AD carry hitting you with his auto attacks. Surely.
Ja, wegen der Q, weil du dann die Q nicht Full Stack bekommst.
There's a lot of magic damage that comes through from Varus.
Oh mein Gott.
But on top of that, the utility that Varus can provide is something that's very obnoxious for a lot of top laners to deal with.
Also, die tatsächliche Antwort, wenn ihr sie wissen wollt, ist, egal was Finn sagt, weil der dann auch, keine Ahnung, die tatsächliche Antwort ist, damit du nicht den 3-Stack Q bekommst, weil die Stacks bilden sich ja ab. Also die Ulti trifft und dann hast du nicht instant 3 Stacks von Varus, sondern die bauen sich auf über, ich glaube, jede 0,5 Sekunden. Und mit Mercs kannst du rausflashen. Auf Full Stack Q. Und bekommst sie nicht ab. Das ist der Hauptgrund.
Looking maybe just to chunk out Kana, who has overstepped a little bit, but there's no real CC here. Mainta's just gonna hit him with a couple.
Hallo Honey, für Magic Damage selbst bringt es nichts, ob du jetzt nur Magiemantel oder Mercs, das macht keinen Unterschied, weil es die gleiche Anzahl an MMA ist. Das ist ein guter Dive. Guter Dive.
NAVI now trying to turn the ties down towards the bottom side as Samdi does get the slow onto Kaliz, but doesn't have vision in that second.
Er hat noch Barrier.
And so can't chase any.
Beide tot, oder? Double Kill? Schön. Wow, das Game lost actually, oder? Boah, Game sollte lost sein, oder nicht? At this point jetzt?
Double kill, but it seems that Mainta has overstayed his welcome top.
Yep, Yike's gonna kill him.
That he will. So an easy pickup for Yike.
Unless.
Kill back. The goal even, but across the map, Navi find a successful dive onto Kana, and they 2v2 kill Kalista Bustio in the bottom lane. A huge swing in momentum potentially.
Unless.
Navi get themselves on the board. And like,
aber es sollte lost sein. Unless though.
He knows he can avoid the CC by flashing.
Yeah, and he commits the flash. He knows that Kalista has both the barrier up, but he actually waits out the barrier. Then he knows that he can chase him down, has the dash back up, keeps the barrier for later on in the fight, and gets a huge chunk of gold as Mainta closes that gold gap in top lane as well.
Little bit of a misplay from Bustio there to use the Aquaprism underneath the tower. Unless they thought they were actually going to have kill threat, you lose your main threat. It's like...
What is Relege up to? Is he
He's flashing the wall.
He's flashing the wall.
Okay, so Kana held onto his flash earlier, has the Chain of Corruption as well, but there's a public execution here for Mainta as he goes in for the slow.
Well played.
Kana needs that Chain of Corruption for the CC, but he's knocked back.
Well played.
Public execution there for the follow-up, and Kana almost gets...
Varus is so balanced. Varus is so balanced.
I think that flash was very unnecessary, but maybe I'm wrong. Like...
No, you see the question mark pigs come out.
Yes, that's what they did.
In their heads, bro.
Because they've got that one ward by the Raptors, right? Spotting out if he had taken a flank round. So they're basically saying, how did he get behind me? And they're arguing he must have flashed over the wall. Lose Dragon, but that's not the end of the world for Navi because they've already gotten the first one of the game. So credit to Relege. I guess I'm wrong. I guess the flash was needed. They still don't get Kana's flash.
Yeah, I think because Kana had the flash, if you want to guarantee the kill, the flash is necessary.
Yeah, the question
if you're fine just getting the flash, I think it's not necessary.
The question becomes, can you keep Kana in lane enough if you just run straight up through the river versus taking that slightly shorter path through the Tribush? I guess the answer is probably not.
I think the answer is no, because he just flashes the public execution if you use that for the engage and then walks away, right?
Yep. So, hey, it works. Navi, they get another kill, and now they've made the swap.
Samdi's up here.
Sehr guter Swap-Timer auch.
Sneaks into that second bush. Paris.
Richtig guter Swap-Timer auch. Ja, der ist wieder tot.
Oh, Paris walks out of the bush. The polymorph immediately, but Kana does still have
sehr früher Polymorph, oder nicht?
The chase continues. The shot block.
Well played.
Picks up his third of the game. And once again, Navi are out to an early lead. This should just be the first tower of the game as well for them.
Guter Swap-Timer mit 3 Globbies auch. Sehr gut. Warum steht der Hausmeister 0-3? Ja, das ist eine gute Frage. Progression hast du bei der LEC nie gesehen. Ist nur in der LPL. Und im Meer ist LCK auch, weiß ich gar nicht. Doch, LCK auch. Oder? Doch, LCK auch. Glaube ich.
He's also got flash and he has the Merc Dread, so even if he's caught out a little bit.
Using this time though, look at the vision in the bottom from Busio. Quickly drops all of these very deep wards into Relech's jungle. Our observers highlighting it for us now. Some of that vision will be spotted out, but at the very least, Casey will get good information as to what's happening down here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, we'll see if there's a way for Casey to punish it.
Mal schauen, Rage-technisch ist schon ein Problem, weil die overloaden wieder. Die sind dann perma-overloaden, das ist krank. Schon cool.
What is Main to do here? Does he go back to base and immediately rotate to top? It seems that the threat of a dive is here from Navi. Casey reacts to it though.
Im Tiefschlaf? Nö.
The crowd trying to lend their voices to Casey's idea that the dive might start Gender Corruption tidal wave, and great vision from Casey. Spells the
Guter Cornerplay.
Really nicely done from Casey to just wait around the corner and then strike when Navi.
Umbrella ist sehr overbufft. Seit sie es gechanged haben.
He wasn't going anywhere. A fantastic ultimate comes out from Kana, and it opens up Yahoo to get these plates in the top lane. No one went to respond. Now the Ziggs ulti will come through to clear out the wave, slow that down a bit. But good response from Casey.
Yeah, really nicely done. And even out the goal between Kana and Mainta. We'll have another look at it. Samdi spotted all the way across, and Kana's just like, okay, Chain of Corruption, let's see what you can do.
Yeah, the follow-up from Casey was really nice as well. The ulti, the bubble was there too. Yike gets that movement speed bonus from the passive of Nami, and is able to lock down and get that kill. So well played by Casey. Still find themselves at about 1k down, just because Samdi's still very strong. But Yahoo with the gold lead. Early Rocket Belt, I don't love it on Azir. I know why all the mid laners are doing it. It's a very cheap, cost-efficient item. Getting that extra bit of mobility, always very nice to have as well. Will kind of make his skirmishing weaker, just because Nash's Tooth is just such a nice item to have on Azir. Either way, Herald 20 seconds away. I have to feel that Dragon is kind of the higher priority based on the map state right now, though.
Yeah, still 90 seconds, though, so they've got a while before that Dragon. Na'Vi have set up vision towards the top side of this mid lane. Harris thought he was recalling there, but decides against it. Accelerated shock blast takes half of Busio.
Jesus. Jesus.
When his bot lane falls to half
Ja.
HP.
Infinity-Item plus Dirk. Krank.
The start here for Na'Vi. Kalista and Busio could still look to trade. They have a tidal wave. They got Crescent Guard out from Yike and a Mega Blast going. The vision comes out from that Scry as Bloom. Shock Blast goes wide. Rifto down to 400, 4,000 HP. Crescent Guard in, tidal wave there for the follow-up. They'll go for Relech. Knock up from the Q3. It's a little bit further. Yeah, who goes in with the Embers of Vibe? Poby flashes out. Casey now begins to retreat.
Die 6 Ulti macht weh. Aua. Und Mainta geht eine gute Ulti, oder? Was? Haben die ist tot? Was? Wow, ich bin einfach. Wow, einfach handstiff. Wow, einfach handstiff. Ja, Rockabelt hat sich das ein Ding, ja.
Unafraid as he charges towards 3 members of Na'Vi. Casey was right at his back, ready to support him. But the best benefit of this for Casey is that Kana's now at 3-3. They were able to put him behind early, but now he's back in the driver's seat as Relech.
Oh, Relech is dead here. Kalista stayed around. Relech gets knocked up, and Kalista just chasing. Yike will fall to...
Bekommst du Kill, aber es ist halt trotzdem gut, ne? Kalista hat noch Double Thumbs Up. Will nicht Double Thumbs. Ja, tot ist da wahrscheinlich sogar besser als Double Thumbs, right? Drake spawnt. Double Thumbs breiten. Wahrscheinlich okay.
Silence the chance there as Casey was riding the momentum of those plays. We look back at this and I just love the aggression from Yike. Look, it's only Busio on your screen right now and he just dives into 3. Knows he has the ultimate.
So, was haben die jetzt? Okay, warte. So, wie stirbt der?
He only landed on the 1. This Mega Inferno bomb looks huge, but watch Kana connects the ult, connects the Q, one-shot Samdi. The barrier wasn't even used. I don't think Samdi was expecting that damage to come out from him, and then he gets the extra kill onto Mainta as well.
Ja, Technik läuft, ja.
I can maybe steal this away. Yeah, gets the eye, and then, 3 Talon Strike is enough.
Dass er da reingeht.
Play from Poby to manage to pick up these kills across the wall and then realizing that his support was there in time. Rifto charge in, we'll take it down to just below a plate. But Navi able to hold on to their mid tower.
Weiß ich, ob ich den Herald zum Beispiel besser finde als Battle Herald.
The second in their inventory as of yet. They are close to being finished. Drake up Betty. Both teams on 1 apiece.
Now I feel like Navi's not in the best position to contest it right now. They have to go the long way around. They don't really have any access to the river. I see Mainter on the flank, but Kana's going to match him, zone him away. Let's see how impactful this poke is from both sides.
You're looking at the shot blast from LEC, Poby's bouncing bombs as well. The Drake secured, Yahoo down, very low.
Also hier gegen Six.
Out. Navi can look for the mid lane tower. Remember, Satchel Charge does do a chunk, but the Satchel used on KC to try and stop them from getting back towards their turret.
Also Groupen ist auf jeden Fall keine Win-Con hier. 5 gegen 5 sieht für mich unplayable aus für Casey. So, mal schauen, ob sie ob sie eine Lösung finden. Aber ja, 5 gegen 5 ist es nicht.
Varus being left isolated in the bot lane though means he can push another wave in as Mingta hovering around mid to be ready for a fight. Not going to find one, so he's going to lose some farm, may even lose that bot tower as it gets lower and lower. Down to 1 plate now. Kana back in the lead in terms of the gold, but still a very even game state overall.
Yeah, Dusk and Dawn on its way for him with the Sheen and the Ruby Crystal. Eclipse for Mainta is a big power spike. The extra shield you get, you go in, get the shield, get Repudiation shield as well. Might be able to take down Kana if it is just a 1v1, as Samdi caught out a little bit by Kalist, but more just stopping his recall than anything else.
Still, nice interrupt. We'll keep Samdi around. Won't give him that opportunity to spend his gold. I'm sure he'd really like to base right now. Is he going to get the chance, though?
Yeah, should be able to off this wave. Like, next wave is so far away. It's still at the tier 3s in mid lane, right? So, Kalist with a nice missile into the darkness there.
I feel like he had no knowledge of where he was. He just threw that out, hoping
just like
for the
maybe
best.
he's over here. Mainta needs to be a bit cautious. Busio has stayed out on the map. He's worked his way down towards the bottom side. Yike is here as well. Relech is on his red right now. Could join up. But looks like Navi willing to give up this bot lane tower to Kana's advance. Kana will take it and very happily accept the extra gold. Still 1,000 gold lead almost for Navi. A lot of that sitting on Samdi's shoulders as he's finished his Fiend Hunter bolts and the Kraken Slayer on this Yunara. But 2 items as well for Kalist. He had a great game 1 on that Ashe. Absolutely space gliding. For Navi, they need Samdi to have a similar performance here as, again, Kalist just dashes forward, has the backup of Busio, and with Yike stepping into this topside river, KC able to force Navi.
Also hier sieht noch sehr useless aus, also erneut. Wenn sie das haben, Azir gegen Six auf Silent, sind die, glaube ich, sehr glücklich. Azir und Six beide auf Mitte, Riesenproblem.
KC, keep my eyes on the bottom lane. Both Mainta and Kana keep shifting into the river, ready to rotate.
Ich glaube, Mainta wird auch immer noch verprügelt im Moment, oder nicht? Und zwar, wow. Das ist nicht sehr gut.
Chips away at Kalist as well.
But I mean, there's a clear sustained difference thanks to Busio.
Yeah.
Kalist respecting it though. There's the honey fruits. Nom nom nom. Samdi would love to get it.
Yeah, but it's round the corner, man.
It is round the corner.
How do you go there safely is the question. Mainta here. Kana might just chain a corruption onto him. TP behind as well as Mainta tries to dodge.
Ja, der wird wohl mal verprügelt, nochmal noch.
Extra dashes. Meanwhile in the mid lane, Samdi stepping forward. Tidal wave has to be dodged at the side of Kalist. Going low. Mainta gets to the mega blast.
Der gibt den Exit.
Navi should back away. Samdi still on that front foot. Busio and Yike down to a 3rd HP apiece.
Er gibt ihm den Exit.
Doesn't go in for it. Kana there as well, but without chain of corruption, he can't have too much impact. Has finished that Dusk and Dawn now.
Okay, these fruits in the jungle providing so much value right now in this
Honey
small
fruit.
skirmish.
Great card in Riftbound.
Sure, that
revealed by a great influencer.
Yes, okay, wonderful. But the healing that it's providing, on top of the blast cone actually saving Mainta in the bot side jungle as well. And the Scry's boom clearing out all of the vision from used by KC to clear out Navi's vision. So now the bot side river is completely dark. Neither side has already had an opportunity to set up. Supports need to go back to base. They've replenished their wards. Control wards need to be picked up as well.
Also, ich denke mir, dass es auf Objective nicht sehr leicht ist für Navi, wenn sie nicht in Position sind, oder? Aber fairerweise hat KC nicht wirklich sehr viel engaged. Also sie haben die Varus-Ulti und that's it. Ansonsten ist es halt so, ja okay, Yike full-sended es. Mal sehen, wie sie es lösen. Ob sie es lösen, ob sie Yahoo vielleicht engagieren lassen, aber der hat keinen Seekers. Doch, kein Seekers.
Somebody might just try and heal up some of these camps, but KC now have the prio on this mid lane, and with that tower being
ist gut.
with all of the crystallize on it, a sad beat from Kalist, knowing that Samdi is a little distraught. at the fact he had to
Corky W,
mid lane.
smart.
Because of that, Casey can step a little bit further into this jungle. 15 seconds on the Chemdrake. Sole point for them on the horizon, and they have first positioning. It's hard as a poke comp to step into a position like this. Kana so tanky already on the Varus as well. Yahoo looking to put those soldiers down and chip away at Navi's health bar. Kalista doing exactly the same. The Drake begun by Yike. Navi unable to
Ja.
step in. Really right.
Wer entert? Navi, ne?
Kana, chain of corruption, but Maintenance there for the chase. Jumps away from the root. Chemdrake secure. Public execution goes a mile wide. In reality, is
Ja.
unable to find his mark on Kana.
Ja. Navi ist nicht decisive genug.
After taking sole point for KC.
Fühlt sich zumindest nicht decisive genug an.
Patiently, they didn't really let the poke bother them. Kana ends up getting away to safety. Yahoo sets up the tower here in mid as well, but a nice
Und ihr seht, was ich meine, ne? Der Jace Damage ist irgendwie ein bisschen, also,
spot to be in.
das ist jetzt dumm, weil der hat gerade 30% Spiel genommen, aber irgendwie ist es noch ein bisschen underwhelming.
The 2 versus 2, but the more and more I watch these trades, Kalista is just constantly
Und zwar ein bisschen zu stark.
behind in gold. Mainta though, no ulti, like you don't have a kill.
Yeah, but there's no chance.
Not sure. Vielleicht bin ich mir auch noch ein. Vielleicht war es davor auch so. Aber ja, fühlt sich sehr underwhelming an. Dafür, dass du halt dann quasi keine Frontline hast. Boah, da ist schon wieder Ulti ab.
Kana looked for it and Poby flashed away. Yike looking for the chase as well, but without the backup of Busio decides.
Weiterhin. Group-Szenario ohne Six und Azir. Super für KC. Mit Six und Azir, glaube ich, schlechter für KC als mit. Der hat nur 2,5 Items, ja, aber das ist ja sein Spike, right? Also wir reden ja hier von Lethality-Items. Normalerweise spiked er ja super hart auf Lethality-Items und dann ja. Könnte nochmal, und dann mit Cyril das nochmal, I guess, ja, aber der Azir hat halt keinerlei Armor, right? Und dafür ist es schon ein Problem, wie gesagt.
Yeah, it feels like before every Drake fight, just that little bit extra lands from KC. They forced Paris and Samdi back in the last one. Kalista's been on fire today. Like his Ashe and now his Corki, the willingness to step up. Even if it's not reflected in his KDA this game, he has been on that front line a lot of the time.
True.
And I mean, this is a perfect example of it. Samdi, that's wild.
Ja.
Just because of a Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Sieht Navi Engage aus? Das ist eine verdammt gute Frage. Normalerweise willst du ein bisschen Poke davor landen und dann mit Mainta zünden. Nehme ich an. Ich glaube, die Comp ist einfach sehr schwer zu spielen. Das habe ich auch im Draft angespielt. Ich weiß nicht, ob Navi gut genug ist, um diese Comp hier auszuspielen. Weil die halt nicht diesen ganz klaren Engage haben, richtig? Also das haben sie einfach... Wow. Da muss direkt ulten, ne? Ja. Disgusting von Yahoo. To be fair. Okay, Game is over, aber disgusting von Yahoo, da wieder den Exit zu geben. War sehr offensiv, dass er ulten muss.
I feel like Navi have to rely on landing poke and they're not doing it. They're just fully committing to all ins before any damage is able to land. They're still threatening the Baron. They have to be mega careful against the Ziggs, but here we go.
Satchel charge away from Poby. Samdi here as well. Mega Infernal coming out.
GG.
The Emperor's Divide as well from Yahoo. And KC, as soon as they see Navi step forward, immediately pounce. 2 more for KC, and you have to feel that's the Baron for them as well.
You have to feel that that is the most important swing in this game.
Oh, ich habe mein Kreatin noch nicht genommen heute.
They danced around the poke. Poby trying to interrupt a Baron that hadn't been started yet. We look back at the fight though.
It just baits Relech to walk in here and Kana says, okay, I'll have some of that.
Yeah, Relech, he ends up getting rooted. A flash in from Kana to guarantee that root connecting. Relech has no way he can go. Yeah, KC basically, oh, that's a kill.
You are correct, Betty.
KC are just pressuring Navi into these decisions and Navi keeps making the wrong one.
Yeah. You put Kana behind in the early game and still at 26 minutes he's 1.3k ahead. Navi's early games have been really solid, but I think KC are showing they are just that cut above this weekend.
It really does feel like we're just seeing a bit of an experience gap, where Navi, they're just cracking under the pressure, really. And KC's doing a good job of putting them in that pressure.
Oh, nice that rocket belt from Yahoo! Oh, that was gorgeous! Mainta the new target, Yahoo stepping forward, Mainta down, tied away!
GG. Sehr gut gespielt. Sehr gut gespielt. Muss ein Casey-Split sein? Wow. Sollte. Stand jetzt. Sehen definitiv aus, als ob sie es gewinnen würden. Mal schauen.
Casey's now just hand-stiffing NAVI. They get themselves 2 kills. Casey very much looking to close this series out in 2-0 fashion.
And for NAVI, when everywhere is bleeding, it doesn't matter what tourniquet you put on.
Jaysley momentan ist auch okay. Nicht sehr gut, nicht sehr scheiße. Ist okay.
To get back in this game, because we've talked about it as well. Where's the engage? How do you find a pick? They look for it in the top side, public execution. Even here in France, it wasn't able to find its mark.
I mean,
Ich mag Spiele auch in China.
It's one of those things where I don't know how much I can put it down to the comp. Like, sure, we talked about it right in the draft. I wasn't
Einfach sehr schwer zu spielen.
still think they faced the same
Für Casey. Entschuldigung. Kaum sehr schwer zu spielen für NAVI.
to do something different to the other half.
So wie sagen oder besser, ich habe keine genauen Zeiten im Kopf. Kann ich dir Action nicht sagen, ich habe keine Zeiten im Kopf.
Approaching certain fights, right? And Casey is basically just out team fighting them. And they're finding
Public
bits.
execution onto Kalis, Mega Inferno Ball coming out as well. Mainta healed up enough to survive through it, but he just
Ja, es ist halt so random oder nicht, da passieren so, also wie ist Poby da tot, wie ist Poby da tot an dem Base Gate oder an dem Base Gate, ja.
the spot lane side, they have a Varus pushing in mid. Casey will take the first inhibitor tower of the game. And it's been 10 minutes faster than game 1. Here NAVI have been unable to really find a way back in. LEC did not get the lead they needed.
Hätte das halt geprockt. Also ich glaube nicht, dass Jay Jungle sehr gut ist persönlich. Ich weiß nicht, ob ich glaube, Jay allgemein ist nicht sehr gut momentan. Ist mein honest take. Aber ja.
NAVI with a valiant fight, but they've got
Vor allem im Jungle habe ich das Gefühl, er gibt halt einfach nicht, also er ist nicht OP genug, um das zu justifieren, den zu picken. Komplett. Komplett. GG.
Casey